We are embarking on a journey to the farthest points in space that we can define and comprehend. Get ready for this mystery trip as we begin our enchanted adventure. Right now, we are 80 kilometers above where we live, gradually rising to the closest celestial body, the Moon. Dozens of astronauts have come here before, some even walked on its surface. Currently, we are about 400,000 kilometers away from home, a 3-day journey by spacecraft. It feels so close that it's as if we haven't even left home. The Moon is familiar and safe, and we are not the first to set foot here. The footprints of Neil Armstrong, the first man to step on the Moon, are still here, and they will remain here for millions of years, as there is no airflow to change them. Now we are going further, a little bit farther. In the darkness, we see a friendly face, Venus, also known as the goddess of love. There are yellow clouds surrounding it, reflecting sunlight and making it the brightest planet in the solar system. It is like a sister to Earth, of the same size, but underneath those yellow clouds, there is a massive poisonous web of gases that has engulfed the planet's atmosphere. The air is dangerous and hot, almost 500 degrees. Nothing can survive here. Despite looking beautiful from Earth, the inside is a complete hell. Thousands of volcanoes are constantly erupting, so we are leaving immediately. We are very close to the sun right now. We are in a very dangerous position. Everything is telling us to return to Earth. But who can resist this beautiful view? Our light, our life, is the sun. We are 150 million kilometers away from home, a distance that would take 20 years to travel by plane. If the sun were to suddenly go out, we would be so far away that we wouldn't know for 8 minutes. It's so big that 1 million Earths could fit inside it. We are very close to it. The temperature where we stand right now is over 10,000 degrees, and the temperature inside is in the millions. But will this one day stop? The sun will run out of fuel, and when it dies, so will this world. Leaving it behind, we move on to the red planet Mars. For centuries, we have looked to Mars for companionship and for signs of life. Mars captures our imagination more than any other planet. But it is red and dead. According to one theory, life began here millions of years ago and was transported to Earth. So, if this is true, we are all Martians. There must be other secrets waiting to be discovered in space. This is starting to become frightening, like being in a giant computer game. Look, these are asteroids. Some are hundreds of kilometers wide and are moving at speeds of 80,000 kilometers per hour. Most planets are formed by the merging of these asteroids. Jupiter, 680 million kilometers away from our home, is a giant at least 1,000 times bigger than Earth, but it is almost entirely made of gases. Look at this famous red spot, a storm that has been going on for 300 years and is 3 times the size of Earth. Now we're entering it, and lightning is constantly flashing inside it. Compared to the lightning here, the lightning on Earth is like a small spark. So, the safest way to watch Jupiter seems to be from a distance. Nothing is as it seems here. The universe is full of contradictions and traps. We are 1,195 million kilometers away from Earth, at Saturn, the crown jewel of our solar system. It's a gas giant, so light that it could float on water. These rings are made up of billions of snowballs, some the size of houses. We could stay here forever and enjoy the seductive pull of Saturn's gravity, but we have to move on because there are many distant places we have yet to visit. Right now, we are on the planet that most closely resembles Earth, Titan. It rains here, there are seasons and rivers, it looks so much like Earth. But the liquid in these rivers is not water, it's liquid natural gas. Here, there are thousands of times more oil and gas than on Earth. If we could transport these resources back to Earth, they could provide us with power for thousands of years. We are now 1.5 billion kilometers away from Earth and can no longer see it. As we move forward, we encounter many celestial bodies in space. 13 billion kilometers away from home, the furthest object we can see is here. Its name is Sedna. It's so far away from the Sun that it takes 13,000 years to orbit around it. Wait, there's something else here, and it's something that belongs to us. The Voyager 1 spacecraft is 16 billion kilometers away from home, and if it weren't for this antenna-shaped spacecraft, we wouldn't have any idea about the planets and celestial bodies at this distance. It moves 20 times faster than a bullet and sends messages back to Earth. It also holds some secrets about us, such as a greeting message recorded in different languages and a map showing the location of our planet. Do you think it's wise to send out an invitation like this to the far reaches of space? Any intelligent entity could receive our message and knock on our door, friendly or otherwise. We are currently 8 trillion kilometers away from Earth, but in the vastness of space, this is just a baby step. There are trillions of kilometers ahead of us. So far, we have been looking inward, but now we are looking outward. It's time to take a step into interstellar space. It's a magnificent view. There are billions of stars like our Sun, and many of them have planets orbiting around them that may resemble our Earth. We are 40 trillion kilometers away from home, a journey that would take 150,000 years by spacecraft, and we have only just reached the next star system after ours, Alpha Centauri. We are so far away now that kilometers no longer have any meaning. We have to speak in terms of light years. 1 light year is the distance that light travels in 1 year, which is approximately 10 trillion kilometers. Therefore, being 40 trillion kilometers away from home means that we are 4 light years away. It's crazy to think about these distances. They are so vast that it's impossible to comprehend. 20 light years away from Earth, or 200 trillion kilometers, is the star Gliese 581, and look at this planet orbiting around it. It's at an ideal distance from its star, just like Earth. If it were closer, the water would evaporate, and if it were farther away, it would freeze. This is an ideal environment for the development of life, and if there is life here, they could be watching our television signals and watching TV shows that were broadcast 20 years ago. However, we still need a lot more time to be able to communicate with this planet at this distance. It's endless out here, 65 light years away from Earth, which is 650 trillion kilometers, is a star where you can listen to Hitler's radio speech from 1940. We are much further away now, encountering 7 stars side by side, known as the Seven Sisters, in the Orion constellation. According to legend, they are the daughters of the ancient Greek god Atlas, who turned into stars to ease their father's burden of carrying the heavens on his shoulders. And this giant little girl's is the largest and brightest star we've seen so far. It's 600 times bigger than our Sun, which means it can hold 600 million Earths inside it. What you see now is not one star, not one planet. It's like nothing we've ever seen before. A ghost, the Dark Orion Nebula, is located 1,300 light-years away from Earth. It consists of gas and dust, and soon stars will be born within it. Currently, they are in the process of forming, but it will take some time. The birth of a star is one of the greatest creative wonders of the universe, and we are currently observing the nebula suspended in space. It is a masterpiece, with movements that can reach speeds of 200,000 kilometers per hour, resembling a soaring giant horse in space. Stars are born, grow, and die, and this image shows us the answer to what happens after a star dies. We are currently witnessing the death of a star, which is ejecting its contents due to its explosive energy. Without these explosions, none of us would exist today. The white object in the center is called a white dwarf, which is the ghost of a dead star. It has such a heavy weight that even a teaspoon of it can weigh more than 1 ton. Our Sun will also become a white dwarf in 6 billion years, meaning it will die. We are heading towards a star cemetery that is millions of kilometers away, located 6,000 light-years away from home. This area is known as the Eye of the Storm, which contains a rotating and vibrating star known as a pulsar. The width of a pulsar is 20 kilometers, but its needle-like tip can weigh up to 1,000 tons. There is a high amount of radiation in this area, making it the most deadly image we have seen thus far. We are moving further away and feel a strange sensation, as if a malevolent entity is present that we do not want to encounter. It is incredibly black, the face of its disappearance. It is a black hole that continues to pull matter towards itself instead of turning into a white dwarf or pulsar. As it shrinks, its gravitational force becomes so strong that not even light can escape it. There is no matter in the black hole as we know it, and time and space do not exist. All physical laws change in there. The truth is that no one knows what the black hole is. Pulling towards itself. We are at the limits of human understanding, and this giant star is being swallowed up inside that tiny black hole, even though we have traveled trillions of kilometers. However, we still have not left our galaxy, the Milky Way, and are still surrounded by an endless universe filled with wonders and dangers. We are 7,000 light-years away from home, yet still within our galaxy, and the light displays we are witnessing are so impressive that it's as if we stumbled upon a forest full of wonders. Everything we have seen so far has been within the Milky Way, which is just a tiny part of space. We are currently in intergalactic space, millions of light-years away. Every point we see here is as big as our Milky Way galaxy. Each galaxy contains millions of stars and planets, and there are trillions of them in space. Now we see a spiral galaxy, so far away that if we were to send a message to Earth, it would take 27 million years to reach it. We have gone further, 2 billion light-years away from home, and we are about to encounter quasars. They are the most deadly things in the universe and are brighter than trillions of galaxies combined. Quasars are so huge that the human mind cannot fathom such size, and stars look smaller than dust particles next to them. Here we see an explosion, which we have witnessed before on our television screens as interference. This is the mark of explosions that occurred approximately 130 billion light-years away from Earth, which is the Big Bang mark. Our predictions. We are 2 billion light-years away from home now, approaching the beginning of time and encountering a quasar. A quasar is the deadliest thing in the universe, brighter than trillions of galaxies combined. It is so massive that the human mind cannot comprehend its size, and stars are smaller than dust particles compared to it. Here we see an explosion, which we have all seen on our TVs as static interference. This is the trace of these explosions, the Big Bang trace, approximately 130 billion light-years away from Earth. Our predictions about space are limited to this point, which is the farthest point where light has reached us. Until we explore and discover more, this will remain the farthest known place.